Welcome back to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. This series, of course, is a YouTube channel dedicated to helping you get better at Bannerlord through the use of advanced field tactics. Today we have sort of a smaller battle. This might be short and sweet at this stage. What I'm frequently doing is just recording battles and trying to execute advanced tactics, and if it's interesting and something worth showing to you fine folks, I record it, upload it to YouTube, and share those tips with you. If it's not, it gets discarded into the ether of the internet. So this case, it looks like we're fighting a force a little bit larger than ours. We'll be using all normal player damage, normal difficulty, and I actually can't see the enemy, so I'm going to start off over here to the side where I have a little bit better line of sight. Sometimes when you're fighting in the trees, it's very difficult to get a grip on where the enemy is, where you are, whether they're charging, what the tactical situation is. So we're starting at some range here. I almost always set my formations on loose. We're a little bit underdog, but that's fine. I see some cavalry coming through. Okay, those are horse archers. You will get better at identifying both troop types and troop units from the little icons and how they act. And in this case, this is just a big band of horse archers that we're going to skirmish with here. I'm not going to let them push us back at all. So the rest of the enemy looks like they're pulling back to a defensive stand, and it's pretty smart. They're up on a hill. That's actually proper tactics. But we'll have the medicine for what ails this army. So I'm gonna just start by circling this force. We're going to put, we'll do the 1st and 4th Infantry on the left flank. You see me do this a lot. We're going to extend our 4th and 1st in a big long line here. And what we're effectively doing here is we're forming, the formations, the foundations here of a Killbox. If I can do enough damage to that force of enemies up on the hill with our elite ranged units, it's very probable that they'll attack at some point. And if they do, we're going to have troops ready to close in, converge on multiple sides, and annihilate them. So here on the right flank, I'm putting the 5th, 6th, and 8th Division. That's skirmisher, archers, and the 8th Corps is our elite group, full of high-level companions and other high-level archers and skirmishers. Now their horse archers are still sort of harassing us here, so you'll see me occasionally skirmishing with them, trying to sort of beat them out of here. I'm not trying to kill them all. Sometimes if they get attacked, though, they'll make a little retreat back to the army group. That's all I'm trying to do here. Now, while this is happening, you always want to be aware of where the enemy is. If you get distracted while you're attacking the enemy archers, your whole army group can be sort of left. I got stuck on my infantry. Bad news for you, buddy. If you get distracted, though, suddenly things can be going very badly for you. So as field commander, you need to be very cognizant of all the different things that are going on. Yeah, so they're in a huge mass up there, and they are firing arrows, but it seems like they're now too tightly packed in. I wonder if they're going to go up on that ridge. If they go up on that ridge, the tactics for this entire scenario is going to change. This is a heavy cavalry wave coming in here trying to deter us. I've got my infantry set in a shield wall formation there, and I've got cavalry following me. All we're doing with this cavalry is basically countering cavalry attacks, right? When their cavalry comes in, we counterattack. And between the forces that they're charging and our forces, it's going to be very difficult for them. Here on this wing, I set the 3rd Cavalry in a big long line, a big long arch, and it did exactly what I intended it to. It basically slows down the enemy approach. They run into it, these guys are distracted, and it's off with their heads, right? Cavalry and shield wall formation, their infantry's already starting to move up. Cavalry and shield wall formation is very effective at least slowing down the enemy, and that's what that cavalry wave did there. Alright, with them approaching, it's time to start widening the net here. We're going to basically, I'm running the 2nd Cavalry through here just to kind of cause carnage and slow them down. They came a little quicker than I anticipated. So we're going to put the 1st Infantry on the enemy right flank. It's our left flank, their right. Moving them over. I've got the cavalry running through there mostly just to slow the enemy down, to cause some carnage, to distract them while our forces get into position. On the enemy left flank, our right flank, we've got our 6th and 8th Divisions, and we're going to start to surround this enemy vanguard with these forces. These are skirmishers, these are elite forces, and the heavy infantry of the 1st Division. The archers are still in the back there to my right. That's the 4th and 5th archers. They're just raining death. Right now at this stage they're just trading with the enemy. The enemy archers are, I'm sure they're doing some damage. But at this stage, the real battle is their vanguard. So now I'm also going to drag my second cavalry through here. And all we're doing with this is basically trying to interrupt their archers, right? We're trying to distract their archers as my infantry approaches, right? We're trying to create chaos for them. I don't know if you saw it, I just picked it up. Their reinforcements were put in behind us. So to counteract that, I want my archers, which were towards the back of my army, move to the other side of the army. I'm moving the 4th and 5th Corps all the way through the rest of my forces, right? They're not going to march to the other side, where there'll be a lot more clear of enemy reinforcements coming in. I'm also repositioning the 1st Infantry and pulling the cavalry with me as well. I want this cavalry to, again, act as basically a slowing force. They're going to get some kills too, but the main purpose of the cavalry in this instance, just beheading every other guy, is to essentially cause carnage for the enemy. Look, their reinforcements are popping up right in front of me. I want them to be slowed down, right? They came in kind of sudden. Sometimes the system sends in reinforcements almost like a cheat code. Here, let's put the enemy right up your ass and see how you like it. But in this case, we're able to counter it by quick movement of troops. The archers will reposition. The infantry is now in a big nasty line facing them. My elite corps are off to the flanks, and the archers are safe in the back. Meanwhile, at this stage, they're already down to middle tier troops. We're just trampling them with this huge cavalry train. So we'll bring the skirmishers over here to our right, the enemy's left. You always want to get flanking attacks anytime you can, right? The enemy's getting hit and attacked from multiple ways. I'm just leaving the 1st Infantry there for now. Eventually they'll charge, but all I want them doing is absorbing arrows, drawing the enemy's attention, and waiting for the right moment to collapse this vice. You see the cavalry still following me, and especially with weak infantry, weak archers like this, it has a devastating effect for them just running through here. Now we're sending in the 6th and 8th. I think we've done enough damage with just our cavalry trucking through. I mean, as you can see the screen, it's an absolute massacre. And we're already down to middle and low tier troops. So at this stage, it's effectively an all attack. And I think I've beheaded like 20 guys. We're just going to tear in here with our cavalry, knock half of them over, and bring our other archers up, or bring our other forces up in just an F1, F3. People say F1, F3, right? That's how you win at Bannerlord. Well, after that first devastating batch of tactics, then I certainly agree. F1, F3 is plenty effective. I don't know. It almost seems like we didn't have a single death in this whole battle. In we go with our axe, and hit a few guys here with the javelin, right in your face. And let's whip out our axe here just to completely eviscerate this opponent. I've never fought a perfect battle with like 1,500 troops and not a single casualty, but I can't remember the last time. There we go. Finally someone got dropped by the enemy. But this has been about as savage a victory as you can have. Knock some body parts off. Yeah, run! Yeah, you guys should have ran fucking 10 minutes ago. Man. Well, I know that was sort of fast and furious. Some battles like this against 1,500 guys go quick, right? It's another example of a killbox. In this case, it's effectively another kite to killbox scenario where it doesn't look like a killbox might be something that you can pull off. But if your tactics are quick, if you can anticipate enemy movement, again, it helped that we anticipate enemy reinforcements coming in and reacted quickly. If you can form these formations and battle plans in your mind before the battle starts, you will start to recognize these in real time on the battlefield, and you will have results like that. I mean, that is, for an open field battle, right? That's about as dramatic as an annihilation as is possible. I got 114 kills in a total blur, 7 minutes. And I improved my tactics a lot. This guy just leveled up, so I gave him some more points in tactics, and evidently the system thought so much of our tactics right there that it gave us a huge amount of points in it. So this is another part of the series of Killbox. There'll be a few more before we wrap it up. I hope everybody's enjoying the series. Please subscribe if you're interested in more advanced tactics. We're going to have well over 100 videos by the time everything's all said and done. I'm former military. I've got a wide knowledge base of history and studying military battles myself. I've got friends, colleagues who I can also speak with and accessing more advanced tactics. I think we have a lot to offer. So please comment, subscribe, ask questions, give critiques, add suggestions for tactics. It's all welcome. And thanks again for watching.